How do you feel like God has blessed you throughout your years, from growing up to becoming a doctor and into now?
Well, he's been such an essential part of my life. First of all, to help me to realize that I wasn't a stupid kid. And then to get me through the horrible temper that I had, which really should have condemned me to failure in life or even death. And then if somebody had set me in front of a computer and said, I want you to type out the medical career that you want to have, I could not have come up with a better scenario than he did. And now, since I retired, my life has taken a different turn, not what I expected by any stretch of the imagination, but I see him at work there as well. So he always prepares you for what he wants you to do.
Where do you see the future of medicine going?
Well, right now it's in a dark area, but there are so many great ideas. People have sent me just fabulous ideas. I have a whole stack of them, working with a number of people around the country. There's some excellent, excellent ways that we can cover everybody for much less money than we're spending now, and putting, the care back in the hands of the patient and the physician. And that's ultimately what we should be doing. We definitely do not want to put something as important as healthcare in the hands of the government. And particularly, if you read writings of certain people who weren't necessarily pro-America, they indicated that gaining control of healthcare is vital to taking control of the country.
You've stood before leaders of our nation and stuff like that. How do you feel like God leads you to the words you say whenever you're in front of such important people like that?
Well, it really doesn't matter who I'm in front of, what crowd it is. I always ask God for what he wants to be said in that particular setting. And he never fails me. It's all about trust. When you trust in him, sometimes, you may be a little anxious, but he always comes through.
Absolutely. What makes you different as a person compared to anybody else?
Well, I think we're all different. I don't think there's any two people who are exactly the same, and that's a good thing. Because, we are a combination not only of our genetic makeup, but of all the things that have happened to us. And certainly a lot of things have happened in my life, that have created faith, that have, given me a certain degree of confidence, that certainly builds up your knowledge base. I constantly ask God for wisdom, and I think God has a sense of humor, because he had my parents give me the middle name of Solomon, who of course wrote the book of Proverbs, which I start every day and end every day with since I was 14 years of age. So he knew I was going to have this affinity for Solomon's writings, but also when Solomon became the king of Israel, the first act that brought him great acclaim, 2 women came to him claiming to be the mother of the same baby. What did he advocate? He said, divide the babies. Well, that's when I became very well known, when I divided babies also. So I think the Lord has a sense of humor.
I read online today that over 250,000 people have signed a petition to try and get you to run as President of the United States. What do you say to those people and that idea?
Well, I say that that's not in my bucket list of things to do, but a lot of things in my life have not gone the way I expected them to. So I take my cues from the good Lord. And, if the time comes where there's an indication that that's something that he wants me to do, I would. But it is certainly not anything that I would like to do.
Absolutely.